Fullerton School District has launched a new podcast designed to help families learn more about the school district staff working to serve their students. Reporter Alex Abeyta has more on the story.
Fullerton School District serves 20 schools and is home to a diverse community. It can be hard sometimes to reach just 20 people, so imagine how much harder it can be to reach the thousands of people they serve district-wide. In an age where communication is more important than ever, the Fullerton School District is embracing a modern approach to connect with families. Two members of FSD's Innovation and Instructional Support Team have recently launched a podcast. Co-host and Public Information Officer Amber Munoz shared with me a bit about what inspired the creation of the podcast.
The Innovate and Elevate FSD podcast was just sort of a brainchild between me and my colleague, Pablo Diaz. He's been with the district a lot longer than I have. I just started in May. But in thinking of communication strategies, we wanted to just have another layer of reaching people with our school district stories and the people behind the important work that we do here.
The Innovate and Elevate podcast is filmed here in this studio, which is a part of the larger school district site, keeping everything close to home. This podcast is actually a reboot of some former podcasting projects. Director of Innovation and Instructional Support and co-host Pablo Diaz talked a bit about why they've brought this project back.
It's about time and consistency, and that's why I wanted to get Amber on board. So it makes sense, right, with the main communications officer to be part of that. But I also have an interest in this type of technology, so together we make a good team. So that's why we brought it back and said, okay, who do we want to focus on? And yeah, we're experimenting right now, but mainly to get information out to all of our community about who we are and the people that actually drive the district and what they do.
The podcast comes as part of a larger effort in communications for FSD.
As far as communication goes, it moves at a fast pace. So the tools that we have by which to serve us can really serve our community as well.
Beyond just connecting with the families in their district by podcast, it may not be easy to understand exactly where public relations fits into something like a school district. But Amber explains why communication is so vital.
If you're not telling your story, who is? And so public relations for a school district really just means that you have a chief storyteller that's putting together all of the great things happening in a streamlined way so that your community knows what's happening in your schools, so that your students are celebrated, your teachers are celebrated, and it just really helps with community connectedness. And especially in public education, we're funded by taxpayer dollars, so we really want to have that transparency piece.
While the podcast is still in its early stages, the duo is hopeful it will strengthen connections between families and those that work in district roles that may not always be seen or fully understood.
We just really want to, celebrate our people, I think is at the end of the day what it is. We want people to know the heart and the ideas and just the care that everybody here pours into their work. And so this podcast really seeks to celebrate and highlight the people in our district that are, bringing these amazing opportunities that we do to our kids here in Fullerton.
Audio or voice is a powerful medium by which you can really communicate with a lot of different people, and maybe people that don't necessarily read articles and blogs and websites, but they'll listen perhaps to your podcast.
Initiatives like this podcast show how storytelling and technology can bring communities closer together. As the Fullerton School District continues to innovate and elevate, it sets an example for how communication can build bridges and inspire collaboration. Reporting for OC News, I'm Alex Abeyta.